Welcome to Deep Dive Daily.
Andy, good morning. And a special good morning to the Oklahoma City Thunder and in every way. Hopefully, if you care about basketball, you stayed up and saw the fourth quarter of last night's Game 5. It was spectacular. I don't think that people understand how rare it is for a round 2 game that's not a closeout game to have the consequences at stake that were in that Game 5.
I know. I was a little confused. I'm like, was that it? Like, that's not right, is it?
Well, the championship's equity swing there between winning, coming back and winning versus losing, it was at least 20%. I mean, it was a big number because the Thunder now, if they can get by the championship Nuggets, it's downhill from here, right? Like, they're going to be minus 500 in the series against the Timberwolves. They'll be minus 500 in the finals, right? So if they can just get this series across the finish line, which it feels like they can now that they had that comeback, then they're knocking on the door. And that was a supremely consequential example of a team snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. That was like you're getting an all-time game from an MVP and a champion in Nikola Jokic. He was so fucking good.
Yeah.
And his absurd heave to tie it at 103 was just like, fuck.
It's the meme. It's the meme of the guy like bending backwards.
Like, what the hell?
23 points.
Like, how can this happen? Yeah. And to keep your composure together in that moment and execute offensively the way that they did on the next two possessions, and have guys who have struggled in the clutch in their two playoff examples like Jalen Williams and SGA, having those guys make such clutch shots down the stretch to ice that thing was awesome. The fact that you got a Lou Dort game where he was like heaving up, I'm Lou Dort, it's Lou Dort time, 3-pointers, but they were going in. Like, it was just awesome. And yeah, I mean, Jamal Murray and Jokic showed up to play in Game 5. They were fucking on fire in that third quarter. And yes, to not quit, to pull off the comeback was just absolutely outstanding. And we go from, like, now you have less, you're looking at a relatively narrow path to getting to a title to, if you can get one more in this series, it's downhill it's just awesome. So huge exhale. That was a great game, great performance. And honestly, like, if you don't win that game, if you're this young nucleus, Presti's probably breaking up the band, right? Like, if you can't get past this Nuggets team with 4 players on the court in crunch time, then you're not keeping these guys together. You're going to make a move. You're going to try to bring in a guy with the championship, cojones, with the guy who with the kind of the clutch gene. Because, like, that was like the other major basketball takeaway yesterday. And, you're like, oh shit, like, you really can't price when a guy like Jokic and Murray, who have done it, who have gotten to the top of the mountain, like, the confidence that gives you in those type of moments is tough to price. It's impossible to price. And if you watch Cavs Pacers, you can the major takeaway from that was, well, the Pacers were clutch and cool, and like, they act like they've won that type of a game and that type of an environment before because they did it last year in the Garden to punch their ticket to the Eastern Conference Finals. And the Cavs have not. And, like, the degree where it was like, the Cavs were playing, I don't want the ball. Like, let's let DeAndre Hunter heave up a 3, right? Or just give it to Ty Jerome. Like, like, it was a mess of an offensive performance from the Cavs particularly in the third quarter yesterday. And yeah, you can't, even if you're a hardcore analytics NBA handicapper like I am, you can't help but watch that and just be like, Pacers had it and the Cavs just did not. And a lot of that you can kind of point to, the nerves were real.
It's just like what you said about the Nuggets and, being there. Intangibles are hard to price and they're harder to explain.
Oh, yeah,
like
for sure.
The momentum argument and all this, like, momentum is real. It's just impossible to price and impossible to use probably in any sort of handicapping, and,
Sure.
Impossible to quantify and explain. But like you said, once you've been there, and anyone who's played sports, even at the high school level, maybe not everybody, if you played on a shitty team every team you were on was shitty and you never won anything of consequence. Like maybe you don't, but like anybody who's been on a team that like even just like, oh, we won regions or we beat this team we just couldn't beat for many years. Like once you do that, your whole mindset changes. I can remember that in wrestling with like
For sure.
once we finally got to a point where we beat these teams we couldn't beat before. It's like, oh, like
Yeah.
your whole mindset just shifts, and it's tough to price that with like, you know, a young team that should be so much better on paper versus, yeah, but you got wily old vets and they've done it before. And what if Jokic just drops 45 points, and it's hard to account for that sort of thing. And it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So-
that they still got it done.
I mean, I think back to like the Dwayne Casey Raptors against LeBron's Cavs. Like there were years where LeBron had 4 Jags out there on the court with him. Well, J.R. Smith, who is not a Jag, but you know is kind of fringe Jag, and 3 other Jags, and they're clearly worse than the Raptors in terms of a net rating, a fair rating at all. And they just went in there and punked them every single year. It felt like that LeBron team had the Raptors number, and there was nothing they could do about it. And yeah, I mean, like there's definitely whiffs of that with the Cavs, and just not really having the experience in the moment and the wins and the pelts and you know, they can point to, we've done it, so we know what we're doing in this moment. Like it was crazy watching the Cavs try to run offense and seeing the ball would land in somebody's hands and they were like running out of time in the shot clock, got to put up a shot, and they were so nervous that it just barely touches the rim or it misses the rim altogether. And it's like that kept happening over and over again. And Donovan Mitchell, he's kind of settles into the same groove. It feels like at the end of every series where he's just like, he's down 10 and he's just heaving up miracle threes and they're going in. And it's just like, I guess you're just the lovable loser, because like it doesn't ever feel like those, you know, kind of heroic performances and those moments really are enough to get his teams across the finish line. But, you know, give him credit for trying. He was the only guy willing to put the ball up at the end for the Cavs, and it wasn't enough. And it's also absurd to me because like I have to own it that I bet a bunch of Cavs. It's all dead. It's all dead. It's all gone now. And you know, would I do it again? Probably. My numbers said do it again. You don't expect a guy who is a true fucking minus like Thomas Bryant to get you know, a +8 run in the pivotal quarter of the pivotal elimination game where he's +8, he scores 9 points and gets, you know, 4 rebounds and steals. Like that. I don't know what to tell you. The guy's a minus. You don't count on a guy who is a minus offensive player like Andrew Nembhard to make the key 3-point play that ultimately seals the game for the Pacers. It's just like, all right, I give up. Like if these guys who all of my, you know, numbers say are, you're not expecting to do it, then so be it. I thought Miles Turner was incredible defensively. I thought Halliburton was much better defensively than his numbers should suggest. Nesmith was much better defensively than his numbers should suggest. The Pacers were a sum of the parts, much better than their individual pieces added together. And then that was pretty obviously and clearly on display for that second, third, and fourth quarter, where they were just fluid as hell. And everybody kind of knew what their roles and responsibilities were. And guess what? They have Pascal Siakam on that team, who is a fucking champion. And the fact that he's kind of been to the mountain, I think does give them, you know, that extra credibility and that extra chip on their shoulder that's going to make them probably a must bet against the Knicks, I have to say. And if you're a Knicks fan, you're hearing me say this, I'm sorry, but I think the Pacers are going to be probably like +120-ish dogs against the Knicks. And I think that's probably the right side. And I need to do some serious soul searching about my Pacers price, because I could never get them above a +4. And
what's your Knicks price right now to win the series they're currently in?
-800.
Okay. I mean, so they could still goof it up. It's still a good team. I mean, you're missing superstar subtraction. You get the superstar subtraction game, so you're going to lose that one.
They're closing it out tonight. I bet the Knicks every game this series. I'm not stopping now. They're winning tonight. I think it's over.
All right.
I think you'll get a spirited first half from the Celtics, but I don't think the Knicks are losing this game. I'd be surprised at least. I think the price is in the ballpark of fair at 4.5, 5. But yeah, I mean, I bet the Knicks every game this series. I'm not stopping now. We'll see.
Minnesota tonight. Do they cover?
That's a
I don't
big
think
number.
they cover. It's a big number. Like, feels like they win, but all these games have been fought.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe that game won.
Big number.
Final NBA thought. Does your opinion on Kenny Atkinson change now?
Yeah, a little bit. He was pretty awful in that series. Yes, it does. It does change. It does change. I don't know that they actually did get an upgrade over JB Bickerstaff.
Did we do Coach of the Year? Did that get announced?
Yeah, it is Atkinson, and it was Runaway.
I wasn't paying attention to awards for real.
I thought he coached a miserable series, but there's gonna be a lot of finger pointing at the injuries. There's gonna be a lot of
it didn't help.
Well, we're still the best team in the East, so let's run it back this offseason. The Cavs probably are going to run it back, and they're probably going to threaten 65 wins again. They're probably going to be the 1 seed again, but I don't know, man. I'm not going to make this mistake with this group next year where I'm just firing into the void. Even if next year is their step forward like OKC's was this year. It still is. There was just a lot of just really huge step back from the Cavs in this playoffs relative to their regular season, and it's going to be tough to assume that doesn't happen again every year. Pacers Knicks odds minus 135 plus 120 would be my guess.
Oh man, I was thinking like 180. I guess I'm off.
I mean, it could be. I mean, there's going to be a Knicks tax, I guess. So, yeah, maybe it's more like 150. I'm kind of guessing what I think fair ought to be. Because, this is the problem. Pacers are impossible to price. They're just a different team right now than any of the stuff you have from them from the regular season because of the quality you're getting from Haliburton in terms of offensive performance. I mean, he was just absolutely lights out, hitting step back 35-footers yesterday. It was absolutely insane. And, I got to assume that people will just have to force upgrade like I am with the Pacers, and they're going to come in closer to kind of an even series. Plus, they beat the Knicks last year in the playoffs. People are going to remember that.
My fair is Pacers minus 180.
Yeah.
Back of the envelope math.
Pacers
back
plus
of the
180 or
frozen
minus
envelope
180?
math. Pacers minus 180.
That's a pretty confident take on the Pacers.
It is. Well, I don't bet the NBA.
It's a lot of the similar.
I can say whatever I want.
It's a pretty similar series and matchup, honestly. I mean, more wing length with the Knicks than you had with the Cavs. Less Isaac Okoro and Ty Jerome to pick on. But no, I think, Pacers Thunder does feel like your NBA Finals. I think Giorgio is on the nails there. Battle of the flyover states, Oklahoma versus Indiana.
Before we get to golf, we do have some TV and movie news. One of the biggest mistakes ever in branding has been rectified. Max will again be called HBO Max. Thank you.
What? Thank goodness. What is the
dumbest
you say
branding.
one of the has to be the
Well,
biggest.
because, and again, when you were a kid, it was the abbreviations. Once you finally got like DirecTV or digital cable, it was SHO, HBO, MAX. Max was Cinemax.
Yes.
Max means something else to our generation. It means Skinemax. It means Late Night Emmanuel, baby. It means a different thing. So I'm happy about this.
Oh, absolutely.
I will say I started watching Your Friends and Neighbors.
Yeah, you like that one?
Jon Hamm's just so good in everything.
He's doing Fletch. This was my request. I was like, I really would love another Fletch. That's
Are they doing another
what
one?
he's doing. I know, but that's it.
You got me excited.
Wait, how many episodes in are you?
4.
Yeah, so this is about the time you're kind of like, oh, this feels familiar.
Yeah,
he's just doing the same character.
He's just winging it. I love this.
Yes, absolutely. Friends and Neighbors is great. No additional commentary on stuff. Although I have started Andor 3 episodes in. The first 2 were complete throwaways. The third was fucking awesome. I'm kind of guessing that's sort of the nature of the You are too? Yeah. The first two were literally like,
I heard it really
ooh.
ramps up.
Yes. The first two were total throwaways, and then the third one was awesome. So I'm assuming that's how we're gonna build into crescendos every three. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm trying to get through that this week, but we have so many. It's been makeup week for softball games, and then real quick touch. So yeah, every night this week apparently I have a softball game to go to. Touching on real quick, I tweeted one of those engagement tweets, but like, what's a trash movie you'd go to bat for? And I posted a clip from Tremors. And so a couple of people are like, that's not a trash. That is a trash movie. It has Fred Ward in it. It's a terrible movie that I love. But a funny thing, this is a funny one for the youngsters. I bet I watched Tremors 3 times at least before I knew the name of it.
Oh, sure.
And I thought about that because I remember like, oh, this movie's on again. And I'm like, I'm going to watch it. Yeah, the Worm movie's on again. It's got to be such a foreign concept to someone who's like 20.
Sure.
Because this movie came out in 1990. So it was on like Saturday afternoon. It's raining out. You watch a movie on like UPN or something. And if you didn't catch the beginning of the movie, you didn't have rewind, first off.
Yeah.
There was no on-screen guide, so you could say, what am I watching? So if they didn't like have some sort of bumper that said the name of the movie when they went into commercial, you just didn't know the name of the movie.
With more Tremors.
Because we were not a family who was ever gonna subscribe to TV Guide, which would have helped me at that point.
No, you got the insert in the newspaper that was your TV guide every week in my household.
So it's like I remember like that
physical newspaper TV guide. Yeah.
That's my memories, like just not knowing the name of that movie for many years. Like, I like that movie. What's it called? It's just so foreign now because like I can't even watch something without like, oh my god, what is? I pause it to go on IMDb. Like, what is this girl in? Like, whoa. Oh, she was a little role on Handmaid's Tale. That's where she's from.
Okay. As long as we're touching random bases, let's touch bases and to give a hat tip to Corbin Carroll, who is absolutely on a heater right now. I'm not sure if you've checked your WAR leaderboard lately, but he does now lead the NL in WAR thanks to his three home runs in his last 2 games. And I do think that we need a little more team success for the Diamondbacks to get him to the top of the NL MVP board. He's right now still 8-1 and your 4th choice, tied with Pete Alonso behind Kyle Tucker, Fernando Tatis, and Shohei Ohtani. And if you project out WAR through the season, he's got some making up to do. He's got to get a bigger lead on Ohtani to close that gap. But Corbin Carroll playing some great baseball. Nice job. PGA Championship thoughts?
Yeah.
Hate. You're still in Tremors brain. You're Worm brain.
Well,
still on RFK Jr. Worm brain over here.
Someone in the chat here, Patrick, says, "How is the dad from Family Ties? Michael Gross."
Yeah,
I never put that together. He was the.
I think those were his only 2 roles he was only 2 roles as a professional actor.
I kind of had a crush on Justine Bateman. Not gonna lie, I didn't hate Family Ties. That's such a weird premise for a show now. They can't make it. It's not like there was anything problematic, but can you imagine making that show now? Like, hey, the son is super right wing. Like, that's a different show in 2025. Oh my god,
our
that's like
is a proud boy. Show right
yeah, that's a crazy premise now.
Yeah,
it's just like, we work for PBS, and he's super right wing. Wow. Anyway, onto the PGA. Everybody hates the course. Everybody is dunking on Quail Hollow. Nobody's helping. There's nobody wanting to throw this poor course a life draft. Rory comes out and he's like, oh, I thought they changed things up. But basically, it's no different than playing the Wells Fargo, which when the best golfer in the world says like, yeah, they didn't even like try to gussy it up for a major. I'm going to play it the same I would if it was the truest. Doesn't bode well for. I might be upping my score to like 15 to 18 under because not only as everybody said they haven't really done a lot to make it any tougher, it's just been wet. It's just been so wet. They're going to have to run sub air constantly and really roll these greens, I think, to make it tough. They're going to have these greens rolling at like 14 on Sunday. Otherwise Otherwise, it's gonna be pitch and putt, baby. It's nice and soft. We'll see some ball in hand maybe with all this rain. I bet Justin Thomas at 2,100.
Mm.
I bet Luda at 30. I think everything was at Chris except for one. I got to find my other prices on the two long shots. I bet Patrick Reed, who playing good golf. It's hard to price the live guys, but I did bet Patrick Reed at about 80-1.
Mm.
And then I bet Minwoo Lee. This is the one that's at Bet Online, 110. Corey Connors, top 20 plus 200. Daniel Berger, top 20 plus 250. I love that comeback trail. And then I did we talked about the Scotty versus Rory, and I tried to price it for the Masters, and I was off, and then I didn't bet it. So it's out to plus 114. So I pulled the trigger this morning. Rory over Scotty plus 114, and actually, I'm not super keen on the pricing for Rahm still compared to how JT's putting. So I played JT as a dog over Rahm at plus 110 as well.
Okay.
That might be the whole card. The rain is probably done, Brad, but I don't know. Saturday looks like there's a pretty decent chance that we get a repeat storms, and then they're gonna have to drive this damn course out again. They have sub-air, but it's not to the level of like Augusta.
I dig it. Well, tomorrow will be our cooking episode for the week.
I figured out what I'm cooking.
Yeah, don't say it. Don't give away the surprise. Tune in tomorrow for Andy's Kitchen Corner. The PGA Championship. I'm gonna probably maybe get a little skin in the game with Rufus's Calcutta today. We'll see. I do have to hat tip bookmaker. You mentioned, or Chris, you mentioned them. They came through and just voided all of the lottery bets after it looked like they were free rolling the players a bit. But they did.
Why did they
right.
end up voiding them all?
Well, they avoided everything that was past post, as opposed to just voiding the winners and taking the losers' money. You know, everything was voided in the end.
You took a shot at them?
Yeah, not a big one.
I mean, you got it once. I didn't know that.
It wasn't good. It wasn't good karma on my part, so I wasn't really going to complain unless the Thunder.
Yeah, I wonder why the Caps lost. Sorry, Cleveland. This was Drew's fault.
Yeah, honestly, I just did it because I wanted to know what they were going to do. It was like a Raptors testing the fence kind of a move, you know. Just kind of want to know what the state of the book is. Like, are they going to just let these go as like player bonuses, or are they going to void everything, or what? And then they did the surprising move of voiding winner only, and I was like, oh. And a couple of our friends sent notes up the flagpole, and they got their bets reversed. And then I was going to wait till today just to see if they did the right thing without asking, and they did. So, thank you guys if you're listening.
I did just watch that. Such a good. Ultimate rewatchable movie, Jurassic Park. God,
oh yeah,
you can just watch it over and over.
Yeah,
fun one. I didn't finish it because it's a long movie, but daughter likes mystery movies. Mysteries are fun, she says. So it's hard. There's not a lot of good like blockbuster mysteries.
Knives Out.
You know, you said, well, that's her favorite. Like she loves.
Oh, good. But don't skip the second one.
She was not a fan of the second one.
Skip it.
So she's like, well, I'm trying to think of the only mystery movie I can think of is Orient Express, which I don't know why I didn't go to that, but I said, you know, it's a good one, kind of a mystery, The Prestige.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
And my God, I think it might be the all-time second time is better movie.
Sure.
Because there's just a trillion. I don't know if I'm about to spoil The Prestige.
So much plot. Yeah.
Well, there's a trillion Easter eggs about the twist at the end. When you watch it the second time, like, oh, Nolan, what are you throwing me all of this stuff? How did I not see this?
Yeah.
Clue. I'm not watching Clue again. Clue's I love most of the actors in that film, and
let's save some mystery recommendations for fuck around Friday.
Yeah, think on that.
She likes movies better than television.
A little both.
for
You know,
mystery.
she's it's hard to get her to watch any movie because she's TikTok brand.
I gotcha. Has she seen Usual Suspects yet?
Ooh, that's a good one.
She's probably at the right age-ish. I feel like I saw that when I was like 12 or 13.
Real quick to close it? What's the line they have to say in the stand-up? Give me the fucking money.
Yeah, give me the fucking money.
You
Yeah.
cocksucker.
You motherfucking cocksucker. Yeah.
I love, that's Benicio del Toro's like
Yeah.
apex.
Give me the
Give me the fucking money, you cocksucker.
fucking
All right, hit the music.
All right. We'll talk. We're going to talk some NFL tomorrow. We'll do Andy's Kitchen Corner. PGA. We'll see what Andy's matchup bets are looking. We'll talk about if I got any skin in the Calcutta and what that skin it looks like. Because you never know.
You should buy a bear again.